जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी रूपी जन्नवल्लभा गिरिवरदारी यशोदानन्दन जन्नरा Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare 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 Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Ram Hare Krishna,
Om Vishnupad Brahmas Parivrajakacarya Srimad Abhayacharanarinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Samasta Gaura Bhaktivinoda ki Nitai Gaur Premanand. The energy level of youth is very different from old students from Bhaktivedanta. एक अलग ही है experience. Anyone on? We need to wait. Questions? Yeah, yes, live. Yeah, starting. Today we are going to discuss Srimad Bhagavad Gita, 13th chapter. So we'll try to finish 13 slokas, 12 slokas. Okay. So the approach is like this. We will be studying Viswanath Thakur commentary. Then after that, we will be studying Srila Prabhupada's purport, total purport. Okay. So wherever whichever line you are not able to understand, so let me know, so that we can discuss more aloud. I will explain, but still if it is not clear, so you have to. So whenever you go through those purport lines, so you should be thorough in that understanding of those lines. Okay. 13th chapter. Projector shall I project on projector? Good, I think. What's oh, book of Arjuna uvacha Prakritim purusham chaiva ksetram ksetrajnameva cha Veditumiccami jnanam jneyam cha keshava तात्पर्य कोई पढ़ी ट्रांसलेशन
Arjun said, "O my dear Krishna, I wish to know about Prakriti, nature, Purusha, the enjoyer, the field and the knower of the field, and of knowledge and object of knowledge. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, this body is one of the fields for a field, and one who knows this body is for tomorrow."
Okay, thank you. अच्छा, two slokas. You will read that also. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Idam Sariram Kaunteya Ksetram Ityavidhiyate Etatyo Veti Tam Prahu Ksetrajna Iti Tatvidaha. Okay, thank you. Already a translation is read. So Arjuna is asking question. So he is asking, he wants to know about Prakriti, Purusham Chaiva, Kshetram, Kshetrajnam Evacha, Etat Veditum Ichchami, Jnanam Jneyam Cha Keshava. O Keshav, I want to know about Kshetram and Kshetrajna, Prakriti and Purusha. So they are only Kshetra and Kshetrajna. So I want to know about this. Then Lord started replying, Sri Bhagavan Vacha, Idam Shariram, this body. O Kaunte, this body, Idam Shariram means this body is Kshetram. Kshetram iti abhidiyate. This body is known as Kshetram. Etat yo veti. Whoever is knowing this body, tam prahu usko kahna chahiye. You should know him as what? Ksetrajna. Okay? So now we'll be seeing just a commentary, and then after that we'll read the purport. Srila Vishwanath Thakur is before writing this Shatka. So 666. Bhagavad Gita is divided into six like that with 3 chunks. So first 6 is one Shatkam, and the second 6 are the middle Shatkam, and this is Antima Shatkam. This is Antima Shatkam, and we already discussed in the first chapter. Okay, first 6 chapters are describing about what? Oh, yeah.
First 6 chapters उसमें विश्राम कर्म मिलता है, आत्मा में ज्ञान बताया गया है। फिर उस आत्मा ज्ञान के साक्षात्कार में विश्राम कर्म बताया गया, जिससे आत्मा का
Yeah, in first 6 chapters we discussed the Nishkam Karma Yoga. Mainly the content of the first 6 chapters is Nishkam Karma. And the middle 6 chapters, Bhakti Yoga. And last 6 chapters, Jnana Yoga. Yes. So this Namostu Bhagavad Bhakto Krupaya Swamsha Leshataha Jnanadishu Api Tishtet Tat Sarthakīkarana Yaya Shatke Tritiye Atra Bhakti Mishram Jnanam Nirupyate. Shatke Tritiye Atra Kim Nirupyate? Kim? Very good. You all should know Sanskrit a little bit. Bhakti Mishra Jnanam. That means last 6 chapters are describing about Bhakti Mishra Jnanam. Is it okay? Tanmadhye Kevala Bhaktirapi Bhangya Prakrishyate Trayodase Sariram Jivatma Paramatmano. So Tanmadhye Kevala Bhaktirapi Bhangya Prakrishyate. That means in these 6 chapters we can see some places Kevala Bhakti also is being said. So in the Bhagavad Gita, in middle 6 chapters, Bhakti Yoga is said. In that middle 6 chapters also, where the Ananya Bhakti is said, 9 and 10. Okay, 9 and 10 is the most cream of the Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Like you see, like some Cadbury chocolates, what they do, they will be having on the top layer very little hard, but inside the cream they keep. And in that also cream levels are there. Maybe you might have eaten or not, the childhood. So if you cut it, you can see top one is little strong, and in middle one is very smooth, and even the core will be even further smooth. Like this, in the Bhagavad Gita, if you see first, that means 18 chapters, if you divide, these are 7 to 12. This is 13 to 18 and 1 to 6. Okay, you can write 7 this time. 6. So this is total Bhagavad Gita. This is the core. This is the middle part. This is the cream. Here it is karma, that means nishkama karma. And this is bhakti. And this is jnana. What kind of jnana? Bhakti. But in general we say bhakti, jnana. So even this bhakti is here 7 and 8 and 9 and 10 and 11. This is 12. So for 7 to 12, what is the middle part? What are the middle? If you say 7 to 12, 9 and 10. Here real cream is there. In 7 and 8, what kind of bhakti we discussed? Huh? 7th chapter we discussed, na? Huh? Huh? No, in the 7th chapter, what we discussed? Bhakti we discussed. Karma Mishra Bhakti, majorly that means Artha, Jignasu, Artharthi, Jnani. So these three are doing the what? Karma Mishra Bhakti. First three. That means Artha, Jignasu, Artharthi. They are doing the Karma Mishra Bhakti. If you remember, you can just look back the videos also. Already videos are there in YouTube. So we discussed that. Karma Mishra Bhakti we discussed, and the 8th chapter we discussed the, and also there we have seen the Gnani is doing the so bhakti, but without any desire. So that's why it is. So he'll be going to the Shantarasa, and that is the sannyasis. So that is also we should consider Karma Mishra Bhakti only. Next, we have one more. In the 8th chapter, we discussed the Yoga Mishra Bhakti. Yoga Mishra Bhakti, about the yoga. Then after that, 9 and 10, they are especially discussing Ananyas Chintayanto Mam. So this sloka comes in the 9th chapter, and also 10th chapter also, Dadami Buddhi Yogam, the core, the Chatusloki, Bhagavad Gita's Chatusloki will come. So 9 and 10 exclusively are defining about the Ananya Bhakti. So that's why even 7 to 12 chapters they are discussing about the Bhakti, but exclusively Ananya Bhakti is discussed in 9 and 10 chapters. So that's why it is the most secret part of Bhagavad Gita. The secret part of Bhagavad Gita is 9th chapter and 10th chapter. Is it clear for all of you? 9 and 10 chapters are very, very secret actually. So because we keep all the time secret thing in middle. जैसे कोई भी पैसा है, अगर कुछ कपड़ा में पहले तो अगर जो पर्स है सभी एटीएम में सब नहीं रहते, कैसे करते थे? कपड़ा में रखते थे ना, गांव जाते सब तो उस समय वो लोग क्या करते थे, कपड़ा का ऐसा ऊपर भी नहीं रखते थे, नीचे भी नहीं रखते, एकदम बीच में रख के कहीं न कहीं ऐसे छुपा के रखते। तो उसी प्रकार भगवान ये ज्ञान को छुपा के रखती है, तो क्योंकि ये भक्ति योग रहस्य है, भक्ति योग इज वेरी सीक्रेट. So now today we are going to discuss this last six chapters. That means today means 13th chapter, which comes under the last six, and last six are telling about the, are describing about what? Bhakti Mishra Jnana. Jnanam, but that is Bhakti Mishra Jnanam. Okay, it's clear for all of you. Next, त्रयोदशे, that means in the 13th chapter, शरीरं च जीवात्मा परमात्मनोः ज्ञानस्य साधनं जीवः प्रकृतिश्च विच्यते. What are being said in the 13th chapter? Simple. It's about Sharira. Okay, that is Kshetram. And also after that, Jivatma Paramatmanoh Jnanasya Sadhanam. The sadhanas which are required for getting the knowledge about the Jivatma and Paramatma. That is the second thing. And Jiva Prakritischa Vivichati. And Jiva also is being described. And Prakriti is also described. Okay. Shariram is described. Jivatma and Paramatma, to acquire the knowledge about the Jivatma and Paramatma, whatever the sadhanas are required, those sadhanas are described. Jiva is described and Prakriti is described. Is it clear? Four things are described. Note कर सकते हैं, जरूरत पड़ेगा. तदेव द्वितीयेन षट्केन केवलया भक्त्या भगवत् प्राप्तिः. ततः अन्य अहंग्रहोपासनादिः तिस्रः उपासनाश्च उक्ताः. अतः प्रथम षट्को तो द्वितीय षट्कम is explaining about what? Kevala bhakti. Bhakti yoga is there. That means karma mishra bhakti is said, yoga mishra bhakti is said, and ananya bhakti is said. But what is the lesson for us? Ananya bhakti is a desired thing for us. And also, apart from ananya bhakti, we also discussed in the 9th chapter what else? What kind of that's ahangrahopasana we learned or not? Ahangrahopasana and pratikopasana, Vishwarupopasana. So, how many types of bhaktas are? Artha, you see in the middle chapters, how many types of bhaktis are discussed? So, from in the 7th chapter, Artha, Gnani, Jignasu, Arthati. This is the Mishra Bhakti, Karma Mishra Bhakti. Next, Yoga Mishra Bhakti in the 8th chapter. Okay. In the 9th chapter, Ananya Bhakti. And also in the 9th chapter, we have seen, what else we have seen? We have seen this Ahangrahopasana, Pratikopasana, and Vishwarupopasana. Okay, but in among these things, what is desired for us? Only thing is, that is Ananya Bhakti. So what about the first chapters? Atha Prathama Shatkoditanam Nishkama Karma Yoginam Bhakti Misra Gnana Deva Mokshaha Tacha Gnanam Samkshepad Uktam Api Punaha Ksetrajna Vivechanena Vivaritum Tim Shatkam Arabate. It is Shatkam. Many last 6 chapters, what is the purpose of studying of these last six chapters? Why these 6 chapters are said by the Lord? That is explained here. You should know what is the purpose of the last 6 chapters. In first 6 chapters, what we discussed? Nishkam Karma Yoga. So, Prathama Shatpoditanam Nishkama Karma Yoginam. And by the Nishkama Karma Yoga, what is happening? Huh? So, soul. Yes. Realization of soul. Realization of soul. So that means, and by doing the Nishkama Karma Yoga, what happens? Antakarana Shuddhi happens. Na? So by that, one will be understanding, one will be realizing himself as, I am not body, I am soul. Yes? Everyone is active, feeling drowsy. थोड़ा सा डल लग रहा है मुझे, क्या हुआ? सब खुश है ना? घर परिवार सब खुश है? कोई ब्रह्मचारी जो घर पर 2 कॉफी और एक तो कम चाय दो 2 कुर्ता और 2 धोती, ये ना परिवार और क्या रहता है, उसी परिवार के लिए परेशान रहते हैं और छोटा सा पेट और क्या है, और कोई समस्या है हम लोग को? तो क्या है, खुशी से आनंद से बस भक्ति सुनो, भक्ति करो, और इससे इस ब्रह्मांड में सबसे भाग्यवान जीव कौन है? हम ही लोग हैं। कोई टेंशन नहीं, कुछ नहीं, आराम से। कोई टेंशन है क्या किसी का? बोले तो टेंशन है तो बाद में बात करता हूँ क्लास के बाद। क्या है टेंशन? यदि टेंशन आ गया, वो टेंशन आपको जीवन को बर्बाद कर देगी। इसलिए टेंशन मत ले लो। टेंशन लेने की कोई जरूरत नहीं, कोई टेंशन नहीं, सब कुछ भगवान देख लेंगे, ठीक है। तो in first 6 chapters we learn Nishkam Karma Yoga, and after doing Nishkam Karma Yoga, heart is purified, Antakarma Shuddhi happens. By that one will be understanding he is not body, he is soul. Then after that, what is the next step for him? What is the next step? He will enter into the Jnana Yoga. Yes. We discussed our diagram, you forgot or not? I think you forgot. You should not forget that diagram. That's very important diagram. That will this is down is what? Karmi. And this is and ऊपर 2 आलू रखना है, ठीक है, और इसको आधा सा ऐसा काट दीजिए, इसे क्या है? निर्गुण ब्रह्म, ये सगुण। और नीचे आलू को ऐसे आधा काट के ऊपर वाले को 2 भाग करो, वो ठीक है। करके इस तरफ क्या रखना है? निष्काम कर्म, इस तरफ दैव वर्णाश्रम धर्म, और इससे जोड़ दो, जोड़ दिया, और क्या है? और इधर एंट्री डोर क्या लगाना है? इस रूट में जाने के लिए एंट्री डोर क्या है? ये डोर का नाम? हाँ हाँ, यस, अंतःकरण शुद्धि। व्हाट इज द मीनिंग ऑफ अंतःकरण शुद्धि? हाउ कैन यू से वंस व्हाट इज द सिम्टम ऑफ अंतःकरण शुद्धि? हाउ कैन यू नो someone's अंतःकरण शुद्धि happened? व्हाट इज द सिम्टम? कैसे पता चलेगा? तो उनको, for him actually, how to know antahkarana shuddhi happened to one? So he, even after doing the work karma, he will never get any kind of attachment for the result of that karma, and also he will never feel himself as a doer of that karma. That kind of attachment, asakti will not be there. So that means he does work and he will be offering everything to the Lord with detachment, and in that, when he does karma, even if he get the failure or the success, for both he will be equally equipoised, and no attachment for that, and no disturbance from the result, and also he will never think that he is the doer of that. So this kind of perfect consciousness, if someone achieves after doing the work, this is known as Antakarna Shuddhi, and such a person can leave work and enter into the what? Huh? Nirvana. Where they will enter? आप लोग वो सब भूल गए एक्चुअली। मैं तो इतना समय लगा के पढ़ा दिया उस दिन। ज्ञान है वो। निष्काम करने की जोर ना ऑलरेडी, और निष्काम करने में जाएंगे क्या? ठीक है। तो ये जो लास्ट 6 चैप्टर्स क्या करेगा? इधर से इधर जाने के लिए, इसमें जाने के लिए, इधर से इसमें जाने के लिए, फ्रॉम हियर टू एंटर इनटू द Nirguna Brahma. So whatever the activities should be done, those are being explained. That means this area is being explained in where? Last 6 chapters. This diagram is enough for us. Whole Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, everything you can place into this. It looks like very simple, but it is very crucial. ये डायग्राम का फाउंडर कौन है? श्री जीव गोस्वामी. He explained this diagram in his Bhakti Samsara. That's it. I नहीं. मैं काफी मारी है. Anyway, this side I don't want to explain. Just for the completion of diagram, I just put. What is the entry door here? Huh? Entry door. Huh? Huh? Wow. Very good. Perfect. Krsna. ये area को I explain in about this Shraddha. I explain in Madhuri Kadamani classes also. You can see. And for that 7 chapters are describing about this area, some portion of this area. This area also you can divide into many parts, like this here. And this part, and also explaining this part, this part. This part and this part is being explained by middle 6 chapters. Okay. So that means before entering into the Suddha Bhakti, this is especially 9 and 10 chapters are explaining about this area. This is Shuddha Bhakti. And also 12th chapter also you can see. It is also explaining about the stages of this Asakti stage and so on and so. And before entering into the Suddha Bhakti, one will be doing the Mishra Bhakti. That Mishra Bhakti, which is said in the 7th chapter, you can see. Okay, put here. So, and Nishkam Karma Yoga is explained in first 6 chapters are explaining about what? This area and this area. Okay, Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita की diagram में रख दिया नहीं रखा? Simple. एक बार इस डायग्राम को यदि आप सही से समझ लिया, सब कुछ रिलीज हो जाएगा. This many lectures I explained this. I don't know. In Bhagavad Gita Sarartha, Lesha. As the first 2 modules I did actually. And that means first Shatkam and second Shatkam. I explained in with this diagram only I was explaining almost all slokas. So that's my in this also where to keep the which sloka also you can understand. In first 6 chapters you can see some slokas are telling about this area also, but so that's what Vishwanath Chakravarti is saying. As exclusively dealing this area is done by the last 6 chapters, but about this area is also said by the first 6 chapters in some places. Okay. So, but if you want to know this diagram, so you can see it's simple, na? What is there? Karmi hai. If Karmi is coming in association with the Jnani, then he will become first Nishkam Karma Yogi and purify the heart, then enter into the Jnana Yoga, then finally realize Brahman. Simple. So, if Karmi is coming in contact with the devotee, then he will be doing initially Mishra Bhakti and develop the Drashraddha, then he is qualified and enter into the Ananya Bhakti and get the Krishna Prem. Simple. This much only is there. And you can see somewhere in the some Shastras, so Jnanis, if they come in association, then they will come and join here. Or sometimes Nishkam Karma Yogi also can come and join into here. So like this you can see. And apart from this karmi, there are the vikarmis, they will be going to the hell. You can put in the diagram down. That's all, nothing actually. Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavad is very simple. Very means very, very simple. This much only. So let us see now. अथ प्रथम षट्कोदितानां निष्काम कर्मयोगिना भक्तिमिश्र ज्ञानादेव मोक्षः तच्च ज्ञानं संक्षेपाद उक्तमपि. Because of the bhakti mishra jnanam only, pure jnanam, can it give the brahma prapti? Pure jnanam, can it give the brahma prapti? Brahman relation can we get? No. Which sloka is telling pure jnana cannot give the brahma prapti, Brahman realization. Jnana sadhanas alone, without help of the bhakti, jnana sadhana, can it give the his results? No. नैष्कर्म्यम उचित भावर्जितम न शोभते ज्ञानमलं निरंजनम न शोभते ज्ञानम. Jnana means what? Studying the Bhagavad Gita Bhagavad is also jnana. No, jnana means what we should say here. Jnana yoga, jnana marga means what? Jnana means what? Huh? Seeing everything here. Jnana means
body.
huh? Jnana means what? Tvam padartha jnana.
Relationship.
And tat padartha jnana. And aikya jnana. These three are known as jnana. So by doing nishkama karma yoga, one is getting what? Tvam padartha jnana. That means I am not body, I am soul. This he is able to realize. Then after that, by practicing jnana sadhanas, you will be getting the tat padartha jnana. That means that we are going to understand in this chapter also. About the Paramatma, they are able to do. Tat padartha jnana. Then after that, finally, so he will be seeing himself is not different from the tat. Tvam is not different from tat. That means I am not different from Brahman. So like that, if one is realizing, so then that is known as Aikya Jnana. Okay? So this you have to understand Jnana means. But now you are studying the Bhagavatam about the Parikshit Maharaj and about the Pandavas and also about so Brishmadev Stuti. And when you study, you are getting Jnana. What is that Jnana? That is? Huh? That is Bhakti Jnana. Bhakti Jnana is equal to Bhakti. Bhakti Jnanam is also Bhakti only. And this is Jnanam. So that's why don't mix the two things. Bhakti Jnanam is different and simple Jnanam is different. Okay? कुछ डिफिकल्ट लग रहा है क्या समझना नहीं है डिफिकल्ट किसी नहीं. So purely jnana, that means I am not body, I am not body, I am soul, and also absolute truth is also Brahman, and myself and absolute truth are not different. I get jnana. By just practicing this jnana, how to practice this jnana? There will be different jnana sadhanas. Okay? Those will be explained in the 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 8 to 12. To get this jnanam, you need some sadhana or not? Those sadhanas are explained in sloka number 8 to 12 in this chapter. Okay.
What's the difference between Tom Padartha and Sundar Padartha?
Tvam Padartha means soul. Tat means Tat, absolute truth. That means absolute truth. Brahman. Tat Padartha means Jnana means Brahman. So what is the meaning of, what is the shape of Tat Padartha Jnana? Brahman is quality without any qualities. No nirguna, nirvishesha, chinmatra satta. Tat Padartha, Tvam Padartha Jnana means I am soul and I am also Satchit Anandaha. And I am also no qualities, no form, nothing. And Tat also is also having no qualities, no form, and nothing. And these two are both same. That is known as Aikidnana. So whoever is able to get this jnanam, so they will be Aikidnana, they will be in the now in the Brahman consciousness. Brahma Bhuta.
Padartha is doesn't recognize that matter.
Huh?
Padartha means matter. Padartha.
Object. Padartha means object. Means soul. Soul is also object. Tat is also object. That means Brahman. Padartha means object. Yes.
So Tam Padartha means talking about Satchit Ananda Vigraha. So
Satchid Ananda. Vigraha, no Vigraha.
you know,
I didn't say Satchid Ananda. I said that's. Because they are not devotees, na. They are this area, whoever is going this area, they are not devotees. So that's why they don't consider absolute truth is having the form. Because of lack of bhakti, they see absolute truth as just what? Brahma Jyoti. Just an object without any attributes and any qualities. They see like that. That is known as Brahman. जैसा किसी वस्तु को दूर से देखेंगे तो उसमें जो भी रहने वाले गुण दिखता नहीं है. जैसे पहाड़ को दूर से देखेंगे तो कैसे दिखता है? कुछ भी नहीं दिखता. उसका पेड़ पौधा और उसमें रहने वाली चिड़िया सब दिखता है. तो वैसे ही जब भक्ति नहीं है, ज्ञानी के पास भक्ति थोड़ा सा ही है. इस थोड़ा सा भक्ति के कारण वो भगवान कृष्ण को कैसा देखते हैं? कोई गुण नहीं है, कुछ नहीं है, ऐसा देखते हैं. इसी को बोलते हैं ब्रह्मन रियलाइजेशन. और कुछ नहीं, इसमें कोई डिफिकल्टी नहीं.
आनंद कैसा है?
आनंद क्यों नहीं आएगा? क्योंकि वो संसार से विमुक्ति हो गया ना. उनका चैतन्य संसार से मुक्त हो गया. दुख तो है नहीं. तो जो दुखलेस absence of pain itself is zero. That's zero pleasure in Brahman realization. दुखों का तो है नहीं. ऐसा करके ब्लिस भी नहीं है. ब्लिस में नहीं में थोड़ा सा है बस. सोल में कितना है? सोल को तो प्लेजर है ना. प्लेजर पोटेंसी है सोल में या नहीं? इसे वो प्लेजर पोटेंसी और ब्राह्मण को भी वैसा ही देख रहे हैं. उतना ही प्लेजर पोटेंसी. On very little pleasure compared to the qualities of the Lord. जैसे आप कोई वस्तु को ऐसा है देख ले, लेकिन उसमें कोई क्वालिटीज नहीं दिख रहा है, उसमें कितना प्लेजर आएगा. लेकिन जब उस वस्तु का ब्यूटी दिख रहे और उसमें पहाड़ का जब पेड़ पौधा और चिड़िया, अलग अलग चिड़िया कलरफुल और झरना और उसमें जानवर और उसमें पेड़ों पर फल, ये सभी देखते खुशी आएगा या नहीं? हाँ. लेकिन वो कुछ नहीं देख रहे, केवल एक ऐसा एक वस्तु है करके देख रहे हैं, उसमें तो थोड़ा सा ही आता है. जो व्यक्ति भगवान की ज्यादा गुणों को रियलाइज करेंगे उसको ज्यादा प्लेजर आता है, और इसीलिए भक्त को ज्यादा प्लेजर आता है. और ज्ञानी की तो भगवान को केवल एक निर्विशेष निर्गुण चिन्मात्र सत्ता वस्तु है ऐसा करके सत्ता है करके देख रहे हैं, बिना क्वालिटीज, विदाउट क्वालिटीज इज सीइंग द भगवान. सो दैट्स व्हाई ही गेट द ओनली लिटिल प्लेजर. Is it clear? It is simple funda or not?
Yes.
Very simple. Huh? चलो अब आगे बढ़ेंगे. भक्ति मिश्र ज्ञानादेव मोक्ष तच्चा ज्ञान संक्षेपाद उत्तम अपि. That means in the first 6 chapters about the jnanam is also said. That means nainam chindanti shastrani nainam dahati pavaka, like that about the soul and about the tatpadartha also said some extent. Uttam api, but now we are going to see Bhakti means the jnana is only helpful to this tat padartha jnana, tvam padartha jnana is produced is the outcome of nishkama karma yoga. Clear? Tvam padartha jnana is the outcome of nishkama karma yoga. Then after that, you will be studying the shastras and you will be following the jnana sadhanas that will make you to get the tat padartha jnana. And finally, you will be getting the aikya jnana. So by the aikya jnana, you will be getting the Brahman realization. Through because of the aikya jnana, you will be getting the what? Brahma prapti. So even it is said in the first 6 chapters about the jnana little bit. Jnana means you should say here tvam padartha, tat padartha, and aikya. And now once again we are going to study this in this middle 6 chapter, in the last 6 chapters also. Okay. So through what? Ksetra, ksetrajna, vivechanena. Through analyzing ksetra and ksetrajna, so we are going to learn about once again jnanam. Jnanam means tvam padartha jnanam, tat padartha jnanam, and aikya. Thank you very much. So to explain this jnanam, these three last 6 chapters are there. Next, in the next sloka, for answer, Krishna is replying answer to this. Idam shariram kaunteya kshetram ityabhidiyate etadyo vekti tam praha kshetrajna iti tatvida. So what is kshetram and what is kshetrajna? So this was the question from our hero, Arjun. Arjun was asking, what is kshetram and what is kshetrajna? He also asked Prakriti and Purusha. He also asked about the kshetram and kshetrajna. Now he is going to reply first to kshetram. What is kshetram? Idam sariram kaunteya. Hey Arjun, this body is kshetram. Idam sariram means this. Idam means this. Sariram means body. This body is kshetram. So idam means sendriyam bhogayatanam sariram. So kshetra, what is the kshetra? भोगायतन जो शरीर है इंद्रियों की सहित जो भोगने के लिए उपयोगकारी है और उसी को ही क्षेत्र बोलते हैं इंद्रियों के सहित भोगने के लिए जो यूजफुल होता है कौन है ये क्षेत्र है संसार वृक्षस्य प्ररोह भूमित्वात् इसको क्षेत्र क्यों बोलते हैं भाई क्षेत्र माने क्या है व्हाट इज द मीनिंग ऑफ क्षेत्र फील्ड व्हाई इट इज कॉल्ड एज अ फील्ड Hey, come on, yeah, you are really following the Sanskrit. Tell me. Means?
The samsara which is being stored in
From this kshetra, what is coming out?
samsara.
Vrksa. Field is known as that only from where the trees and crops will come out. Na? So, this body is known as kshetra because it is producing what? Samsara vrksha. Why body is known as kshetram? The reason is because it is producing which tree? Samsara tree. तद्यो वेत्ति बंध दशायाम अहम मम इत्यभिमानायाम स्वसंबंधित्वेन जानाति मोक्ष दशायाम तो अहम मम इत्यभिमान रहितः स्वसंबंध रहितम एव यो जानाति तम उभयावस्थम जीवम क्षेत्रज्ञम इत्याहु. Then who is the kshetrajna? The one who knows about this kshetra is known as kshetrajna. Kshetrajna is also two types. What are those? Huh? No. Atma, which knows that this body is mine. Let me draw. What is this? दिस इज क्षेत्र। आलू, ये आलू नहीं है, मैं बदल दिया उसको, आलू नहीं, दिस इज क्षेत्र। फ्रॉम हियर व्हाट इज कमिंग? वृक्ष, वृक्षा है। Since this is yielding to a tree or is producing a tree, that's why it's known as Ksetram. This is nothing but what? Ksetram is body along with senses. Okay, simply body means subtle and gross body, you can take it. Body means subtle and gross body. Okay, from this, what is coming out? Okay. And who is Ksetrajna? This is the Ksetrajna. Yeah. He is a Ksetrajna. Why he is known as Ksetrajna? Gna means knower. Ksetrajna means knower of Kshetram, field. Knower of field. So the one who knows Kshetram is known as Ksetrajna. So knowing is two types. Knowing is two types. Yes. What are the two types? Knowing that this body is mine. Who, which Kshetrajna will think? Conditioned Kshetrajna. But which Kshetrajna is not conditioned, you will think that this body is not mine. That means the one who knows Kshetra is known as what? Kshetrajna. But how he knows? In conditioned state, he knows that this Kshetra belongs to me. And in the liberated state, he knows this body is not mine. Understood? Now knowing is two types. It's clear for all of you. अब ये सोने के टाइम है क्या आप लोगों का? नहीं है ना? अच्छा,
particular words come. There are questions. One who identify himself with the body is not sufficient.
ओके, लाइक डिस्कशन बाद में। ठीक है। अब ये लोग यही समझ में नहीं आ रहा, डिस्कशन ले जाएंगे तो लोग स्विच ऑफ हो जाएंगे। नेक्स्ट, मोक्ष दशायां तो अहम मम इति अभिमान रहितः स्वसंब रहितमेव युजानाति तम उभयावस्थम जीव. That means jiva, the kshetra have two types of avastha. So one avastha is knowing this body as mine, another avastha is not mine. So okay. क्षेत्र की दो टाइप नहीं, क्षेत्र का नो जानना टू टाइप्स थे। हाँ, ये क्षेत्रज्ञ को जानने वाला, क्षेत्र को जानने वाला क्षेत्रज्ञ बोलते हैं। तो कैसा जानते हैं क्षेत्र को? मेरा है करके जानते हैं, ये एक अवस्था है क्षेत्र की। एक क्षेत्र मेरा नहीं है करके जानता है क्षेत्र को। ऐसे नहीं बात। आई एम नॉट दिस बॉडी नहीं, वो क्षेत्र को कैसा जान रहा है? ये क्षेत्र मेरा नहीं है करके क्षेत्र को जान। अरे उनको समझाई कोई? हाँ हाँ, अरे क्षेत्र को जानने वाले को क्षेत्र में बोलते हैं ना, वो कैसा जान रहा है? मैं उस जानने का शेप क्या है? एक क्षेत्र मेरा है करके जान, एक टाइप है। एक क्षेत्र मेरा नहीं है करके जान, ये भी तो एक जानकारी है ना। जैसे क्षेत्र कृषि फलवत, कृषि फलवत सएव क्षेत्रज्ञ तत्फल भोक्ता च यदुक्तम। वो क्या करते हैं? अब ये पेड़ है, पेड़ की क्या आएगा? संसार वृक्ष तो है या नहीं? संसार वृक्ष प्रोड्यूसिंग फल। ये तो क्षेत्र है, क्षेत्र से संसार वृक्ष आ जाएगा, उस वृक्ष से फल निकल के आएगा, और ये क्षेत्र क्या करते हैं? खाएगा, मजा लेगा। Adanti Chaikam. In this regard, there is said in the he said in some in the Adanti Chaikam Falamasya Buddha Go Grame Chara Ekam Aranya Vasa Hamsa Ya Ekam Bahu Rupam Ijjai Mayamayam Veda Saveda Vedam Adanti Chaikam Falamasya Buddha Grame Chara Ekam Aranya Vasa Hamsaya ekam bahurupam ijjai mayamayam veda saveda vedam. So here this is very important thing. See, this that means this Ksetrajna is can be Baddha Ksetrajna. That means who thinks that this body is mine, and another is mukta Ksetrajna. Yes. And how he knows about this body? How he sees this body about this body? Is not belongs to mind. There's a mukta Ksetrajna. And this Baddha Ksetrajna will eat these fruits. Okay? Eats the fruits of samsara vrksa. Adanti chaikam falamasya bruda grame chara ekam aranyavasah amsaya ekam bahurupam. So brudanti iti brudaha grame charaha baddha jivaha. Baddha jiva asya vrkshasya ekam phalam dukkham adanti. उसका फल खा लेते हैं। एंड अरण्यवासा हमसा मुक्त जीवा एकम फलम सुखम अधंती। और एक बात है इधर, इसका दो फल है। इस संसार वृक्ष का दो फल मिलता है। एक क्या है? दुख, दुख का सार। एंड अनदर इज सुख। बद्ध क्षेत्र में कौन सा फल खाएगा? ये जो दुख रूपी फल को खाएगा। और मुक्त क्षेत्र में सुख रूपी फल को खाएगा। अरे संसार वृक्ष से सुख रूपी फल कैसा आता है? संसार तो हम लोग दुखी देता है, ऐसा तो है ना प्रभु? लेकिन इधर संसार की वृक्ष से सुख रूपी फल कैसा है? ये तो क्वेश्चन है या नहीं? अच्छा क्वेश्चन है या नहीं? मैं अच्छा क्वेश्चन पूछ रहा हूँ या नहीं? अरे कुछ तो बोलो यार। हाँ, कम से कम हमको अप्रिशिएट करेगा। आप लोग नहीं तो अपराध होगा। Just blackmailing all of you. See, grudyanti iti grudaha grame charaha baddha जीवाः अस्य वृक्षस्य, अस्य वृक्ष माने उस वृक्ष, वो कौन सा वृक्ष है? संसार वृक्ष। एकम फलम, एक फल है। दुक्खम अदंती परिणामतः स्वर्गादेरपि दुःख रूपत्वात्। मान सकते इस संसार वृक्ष से स्वर्ग भी आता है, लेकिन स्वर्ग को भी हम लोग इधर सुख नहीं मानते, क्योंकि एक प्रकार से स्वर्ग भी दुख का ही दूसरा फॉर्म है, क्योंकि वो स्वर्ग भी सच में सुख नहीं है, वो सुख का रिफ्लेक्शन है, सच में तो वो सुख नहीं है। तो इसीलिए ये जो क्षेत्र में जो बद्ध जीव हैं, ये संसार वृक्ष से दुख रूपी फल को पाते हैं। और वो दुख क्या क्या है? भौतिक संपत्ति जो भी है, भौतिक कष्ट, और स्वर्ग भी मान लीजिए दुख में ही जोड़ना है। और एक जो क्षेत्रज्ञ है मुक्त क्षेत्रज्ञ, तो मुक्त जीवा अरण्यवासा हमसा मुक्त जीवा एक फलम सुखम अदंति सर्वदा सुख रूपस्य अपवर्गस्य अप्येतज्जन्यत्वात्। ekam ekam api samsara vrksham bahuvida naraka swarga. So this vrksha, this samsara vrksha is producing the sukha rupi phala. That is what? Moksha. And this is producing dukkha rupa phalam. That is what? Material pleasure. All types of material pleasure and pain. Material pleasure and pain. It is producing, this vrksha is producing the different types of fruits. So one is sukha rupi, another is dukkha rupi. So sukha rupi phal. Yeah. And this vrksha is what? Maya mayam. This vrksha is what? Maya mayam. This tree is producing sukha rupi phala also dukkha rupi phala. Maya mayam. अरे कैसा ये मायामय वृक्ष सुख रूपी फल को उत्पन्न करती हैं? ये क्वेश्चन किसी को आ रहा है या नहीं? हाँ, तो इसका आंसर क्या है, कोई बोलिए? हाँ? हाँ,
तो इस बॉडी से हम रियलाइज कर सकते हैं ये प्रोसेस केवल फॉर्म बॉडी में कर सकते हैं।
हाँ, इसको थोड़ा सा वो भगवान का बात ही नहीं है क्योंकि ये तो पूरा ये ज्ञानी का कॉन्सेप्ट चल रहा। आप जो बोल रहे सही है, सम एक्सटेंट। कैसा है कि सी दिस vrksha is comprised of what? Mode of passion, ignorance and goodness. This vrksha is comprised of maya. Maya means what? What gunas are there? Sattva, rajas and tamas. So if jivatma is covered with the rajas and tamas, then he will be getting from this tree dukkha rupi phala. And but when jivatma is in the mode of goodness, then it is understanding he is not body and using the sattva guna only. If when jivatma is full of sattva guna, antakarana shuddhi means what? By doing the nishkama karma yoga, one is getting antakarana shuddhi means what? He is in the sattva guna, mode of goodness. Because of that, he is able to understand I'm not body, and he is getting the what pleasure? Atmanandam is getting it. Understood? So that means Maya is consisting of two types of things. What is that? Avidya and Vidya. And avidya gives the dukkha rupi phala, sorrow fruit. And Vidya gives the pleasure fruit. And Vidya is out of what? Goodness. And Avidya is out of what? Passion and ignorance. So now you are clear. Samsara vrksha can produce two fruits or not? Samsara vrksha is out of three modes. In that, the branches of Sattva Guna, they produce sweet fruit, pleasure fruits. And those branches out of Rajas and Tamas, they produce sorrow fruit. And who is eating which fruit? Baddha Jiva eating the sorrow fruit. And Mukta Jiva eating? Is it clear now?
Yes.
A diagram yaad raha hai. If you learn this, it will be useful even to understand Chatusloki Bhagavat Mahasura. Vitetam yat pratiyeta na pratiyeta chatmani. This sloka you will understand. It's very much. And now we'll read the paragraph. Chalo. Arjuna was inquisitive about Prakriti, Purusha, Ksetrajna, and knowledge and the object of knowledge, jnanam and name. 6 things he inquired. Prakriti, Purusha, Ksetram, Ksetrajna, jnanam and name. When he inquired about all these, Krishna said that this body is called the field. And that one who knows this body is called the knower of field. That means Ksetrajna. This body is the field of activity for the conditioned soul. The conditioned soul is entrapped in material existence and he attempts to lord it over material nature. And so, according to his capacity to dominate material nature, he gets a field of activity. The field of activity is the body. And what is the body? The body is made of senses, all internal senses and external senses. The conditioned soul wants to enjoy sense gratification. And according to his capacity to enjoy sense gratification, he is offered a body or field of activity. Therefore, field of activity, body means Prabhupada is saying field of activity because using this body only you can do activities. That's why he's saying it's a field of activity. Therefore, the body is called ksetra or the field of activity for the conditioned soul. Now, the person who should not difference between the field and its knower, the body and the knower of the body. It is not very difficult to understand the difference between the field and its knower. Field is body and the knower is soul. So that's why soul is Ksetrajna. Any person can consider that from childhood to old age, he undergoes so many changes of body and yet is still one person remaining. What Prabhupada is saying in this line. So, bodies keep on increasing from the childhood to youthhood. Then after that, it will stay for some time and then it is dwindling. So here, one is growing now. Every time it's changing. And also there is one more thing which is observing this. The changing thing is field and observer is. If two are not there, how can you say? If you are the body only and the changing one only, you cannot know then you are having the childhood. Understood this point? आया दिमाग में? नहीं आया. ए भाई चेक ड्रा करेंगे. ये बॉडी है, ये उसके बाद बढ़ता है ना, और बढ़ रहे देखो. और ये बढ़ने का चीज को और एक अंदर ही एक व्यक्ति है वो देख रहे. ये बढ़ने चीज ही यदि जानने वाला है, ये मान लो ये बढ़ने वाला चीज ही जानने वाले हैं, तब तो क्या होगा? तो ये तो निरंतर बदल रहा है, तो वो बदलने वाला ही जानने वाला ही भी मानेंगे, तो वो पुराना में जो छोटा था उसको जानेगा क्या? वो नहीं जानेगा. लेकिन हम लोग छोटा वाला को भी जान रहे हैं, बड़ा का भी और भी बड़ा का भी जान रहे हैं. माने इसका अर्थ क्या है? जानने वाला कांस्टेंट रह रहा है, चेंज होने वाला अलग है और उसको जानने वाला कांस्टेंट रह रहा है. समझ में आया? और इसीलिए ये जो चेंज होने वाला क्षेत्र है, जानने वाला, इसे ऊपर लॉजिक दे रहे हैं भाई. किसी को कुछ लोग आर्ग्यू करते हैं ना, आत्मा है करके कैसे निरूपण करो, तो उनको बोलना है यदि आत्मा शरीर दोनों एक ही मान लेंगे तो समस्या क्या होगा? तो तब आप मैं छोटा में ऐसा था, बड़ा में ऐसा था, मैं और भी अभी जवानी में मैं ऐसा हूं, ऐसा बोल नहीं पाएगा. क्योंकि आप बॉडी ही है, तो बॉडी तो निरंतर बदलता है. माने आपका ज्ञान भी निरंतर बदलना चाहिए. माने इसका अर्थ आपके पास जो छोटा बॉडी था उसको जानकारी नहीं रहना चाहिए. ठीक है?
ठीक है सर.
समझ में आया ना? आप एक्सप्लेन करना चाहते, कमेंट देना चाहते, सिंपल वर्ड्स में. Any person can consider that from childhood to old age he undergoes so many changes of body and yet is still one person remaining. Thus, there is a difference between the knower of the field of activities and the actual field of activities. So that's the knower is different and field of activities is different. Prabhupada is bringing the point. A living conditioned soul can thus understand that he is different from the body. It is described in the beginning. Dehinosmin. That the living entity is सबको जब भी लाइन समझ में आए तो बोलना है आप प्रभु रुकिए करके नहीं तो मैं ऐसे पढ़ के जाऊंगा जहां एक्सप्लेन मैं फील करूंगा वहां एक्सप्लेन करूंगा आपको समझ में नहीं आए तो आपका जिम्मेदारी है पूछ that the living entity is within the body and that the body is changing from childhood to boyhood and from boyhood to youthhood and from youth to old age and the person who owns the body knows that body is changing. A changing body only is the person, then how he can know the previous change? So that's why there should be a constant person beside to this, and that person is known as Ksetrajna. The owner is distinctly Ksetrajna. Sometimes we think I am happy, I am a man, I am a woman, I am a dog, I am a cat. These are the bodily designations of the knower, but knower is different from body. Although we may use many articles or clothes, etc., we know that we are different from the things used. ये तो मेरा shirt बोलते हैं, तो kurta. Similarly, that means we are different from this kurta. Similarly, we also understood by a little contemplation that we are different from body. So this whole paragraph is explaining us how to understand difference between the body and knower of the body. What is the fundamental logic Prabhupada is giving? One some constant person is there and he is seeing the childhood, youth and old age and so and so. So that's why. So there are two people are there. One is known and another is knower. So knower is constant, you should say, because he is observing everything. So if he is also moving thing, then how can he see the changes? He cannot see the changes. So next, in the first 6 chapters of Bhagavad Gita, the knower of the body and the position by which he can understand the Supreme Lord are described. What Prabhupada is saying? In the first 6 chapters, the knower of the body and the position by which he can understand the Supreme Lord are described. So that means in the first 6 chapters we have seen the Nishkama Karma Yoga. By using that, one realized himself as he is not a body and he is soul. Okay, that being described in the first 6 chapters. So in the middle 6 chapters of the Bhagavad Gita, the Supreme Personality of Godhead and the relationship between the individual soul and the super soul in regard to the devotional service are described. Okay, devotion is described. And the superior position of the Supreme Personality of Godhead and the subordinate position of the individual souls are definitely defined in these chapters, in the middle 6 chapters. The living entities are subordinate under all circumstances, but in their forgetfulness they are suffering. When enlightened by pious activities, they approach the Supreme Lord in different capacities. As the distressed, those in want of money, the inquisitive, and those in the search of knowledge. What is saying here? Arthaha jignasu, arthati jnani. That means the middle 6 chapters, what is said is Prabhupada is explaining. What are that? Arthaha, jnani, jignasu, arthati, and what else we have seen? Yoga Mr. Bhakta, and also we have seen. That's it. What's our Mr. Bhakta? And also? Annya Bhakta and Ananya Bhakta. Ananya. Okay, this is also described. Now, starting with that means middle 6 chapters, what is said, Bhakti Yoga is said, and different types of Bhakti. Now, this is also now starting with the 13th chapter, how the living entity comes in contact with material nature and how he is delivered by the Supreme Lord through different methods of fruitive activities, cultivation of knowledge and discharge of devotional service are explained. That means cultivation of knowledge and devotional service means what is that? Jnana Mishra. What Vishwanath is saying what? Vishwanath Chakravarti is saying in this what? Jnana. Bhakti Mishra Jnana. Jnana, not Jnana Mishra Bhakti, should reverse it. Bhakti Mishra Jnana. That means in this in the last 6 chapters, we see primarily Jnana and also Misrita Bhakti also. So Bhakti Mishra, ultimately we'll see Bhakti Mishra Jnana. So that's why Prabhupada is writing. Here we are going to study cultivation of knowledge means Jnana and discharge of devotional service means Bhakti. Although the living entity is completely different from the material bodies, he somehow becomes related. This is also explained. Actually, this living entity is completely different from the body, but somehow he becomes related. That means because of his avidya. Being covered by the avidya, he is identifying himself as body. That is also being explained. Is clear? Purport? क्षेत्रज्ञं चापि मां विद्धि सर्वक्षेत्रेषु भारत क्षेत्रज्ञयोर् ज्ञानम् बोलते नहीं क्यों क्षेत्रज्ञं चापि मां विद्धि सर्वक्षेत्रेषु भारत क्षेत्रज्ञयोर् ज्ञानम् यत्तज्ज्ञानम् ट्रांसलेशन
What you know about, you should understand that I am also bodies and understand this body and its knowledge is called knowledge. It is my being.
ये भाई लोग आप लोगों को याद रखना है देखो ये शुद्ध भक्ति में प्रवेश करने के लिए क्या चाहिए परम फेथ चाहिए परम फेथ कैसा आएगा शास्त्रार्थ विश्वास व्हाट इज मीनिंग ऑफ परम फेथ दृढ़ श्रद्धा मींस द नेक्टर ऑफ डिवोशन व्हाट वी रेड श्रद्धा मींस शास्त्रार्थ विश्वास आप लोग फोकस से नहीं पढ़ना थोड़ा सा फोकस बढ़ाना है प्लीज याद रखना है अभी यंग है ना पूरा ऐसे दिमाग में चिपकना चाहिए श्रद्धा माने क्या है शास्त्रार्थ विश्वास कौन देखिए उसकी पहले हम लोगों को भक्ति बीज तो दिया गया साधु संगति से हम लोगों को भक्ति का बीज मिल गया बिकॉज ऑफ एसोसिएशन ऑफ साधु पिक्चर डाल कर अगर आप लोग हर एक पिक्चर से समझाना पड़े क्योंकि शब्दों अंदर नहीं घुस रहे ये साधु है भक्त और ये नया है ताजा इसका क्या है दिल इसकी कष्टों को देखकर इस साधु को by seeing the pains of middle pains of this new person this very long so he sadhu by seeing this new devotee so he feels that means his middle pain touched his heart and this heart is so soft because of doing bhakti and because of this heart is melted so this heart is completely soft because it became fully bhakti maya devotionalized because that's why it is so soft so when this started melting then when this material pain of this devotee touches this then what this started melting yes when it melted from that melted heart what will come kripa mercy yes that kripa is nothing but what it is also devotion or not because that's the whole heart is full of bhakti when it melts then what will come it so bhakti came in the form of mercy and that means now he gave to him now in his heart now this bhakti is there bhakti beej dal di so but if this new person if he wants to do ananya bhakti the bhakti beej is given but now if he wants to do ananya bhakti what he has to have qualification shraddha he should have When he has Shraddha, Dృఢ Shraddha, then only he can do Ananya Bhakti. Otherwise, he will do only Mishra Bhakti, Karam Mishra. When he has Dృఢ Shraddha is the qualification of person or the qualification of Bhakti? Qualification of person. So Shraddha is not part of Bhakti. Shraddha is only the qualification of the person who has to do Bhakti. Note this point, Your Honor. समझ में आ रहा है आपको? अनुभव में ना अनुभव आपको आ रहा है? So he has to do what? He has to develop Shraddha. So we all given with these seeds, and to develop Shraddha we need what? So Shastra Artha Vishwasa. One should, what is the shape of Shastra Artha Vishwasa? Believing, firmly believing the conclusions of the Shastra. Dృఢ Vishwasa means Shastra Yukti Cha Nipunaha. One should become expert in Shastra. And that person only can get the Dృఢ Shraddha, and he can do purely devotion. Purely devotion. He will not do any other karma and other so and so. He cannot mix those. To do that, he has to develop what? Qualification of Dృఢ Shraddha. That how it will come? By studying the Shastras. So Shastras, and also you should get the blessings of Madhyama Bhakta. So that not just studying, but he can believe also. Right? Okay? So that's why now you have to enter into the pure devotion. You also should study this Bhakti Shastras, Bhagavad Gita very scrutinizingly deeply. So that your Shraddha will become so strong and very strong. Then you can do Ananya Bhakti. Otherwise, you will do Bhakti, which is Lunju Punju. Lunju Punju Bhakti. That means resoluted Bhakti you cannot. Dila Dichku, Lunju Punju, understand? इस प्रकार की भक्ति करेंगे. By that you cannot achieve the फल, मैंगो फल नहीं मिलेगा. भक्ति माने प्रेम फल. इसीलिए books are basis. Books are very important. Prabhupada says all the time, my books you all should read scrutinizingly. Prabhuji, I don't want to read. Then we cannot help you. No doubt in that. Prabhupada's statement is this one. We cannot help you. But these books are for this is intelligence is created. This intelligence is created when you do service. So now you didn't have Dృఢ Shraddha, but now you should do service, and by that your anarthas will be finished. Whatever is there in your heart, then you are getting the goodness in your heart because anarthas are finished. So then you can understand. It's possible. That's why this morning sadhana is given to you, and service is given to you. And study the Shastra very scrutinizingly, at least 5 hours. 5 hours you should study. क्या है सोएंगे आप लोग क्या करते हैं? 5 घंटा कम से कम 8 घंटा सर्विस, 5 घंटा अध्ययन और 12 घंटा 6 घंटा सो जाओ और बाकी जो भी है भजन आरती अटेंड. नो फ्री टाइम में से मैं भी खाली हुआ ऐसे कभी नहीं सोचता. जो भी मैं खाली हूं सोचेगा वो गया काम से. 5 hours at least you should study and 8 hours you should do service. 13 hours and 11 hours is the remaining to you. And 6 hours you sleep and 5 hours attend all the artis. And even 1 minute should not be wasted. We are not there here just to time pass. No. You have to study. If you are not able to understand, then you have to again and again you read it and ask others and understand deeply. And it must actually. So Prabhupada is saying, Recently, I got one. Where is that? If you take so lightly, that means about the studying the Shastra, you cannot develop this Dhruva. So, which is the really qualification to enter into the pure devotion, then you cannot pure devotion. See, Srila Prabhupada, what is saying? Can anyone read nicely? Okay, I will read. Now we have got so many students and so many temples, but I am fearful that if we expand too much in this way, that we shall become weakened and gradually the whole thing will become lost. Just like milk, we may thin it more and more with water for cheating the customer, but in the end, it will cease to be any longer milk. अभी दूध में पानी डालते डालते जाएंगे तो क्या है दूध रहेगा क्या खत्म हो जाएगा so better to boil the milk now very vigorously and make it thick and sweet that is the best process so let us concentrate on training our devotees very thoroughly the knowledge of Krishna consciousness from our books from tapes by discussing always and in so many ways instruct them in the right propositions. Srila Prabhupada's letter to Hamsadut in 1972, June 22nd. अभी भीड़ बनाना जरूरी है लेकिन वो भी साथ में जो भी है हमारा पास हर एक ब्रह्मचारी should be very thorough in the all should be very thorough in the knowledge and Krishna conscious knowledge. Thoroughly in the knowledge of Krishna consciousness. Otherwise, dilution is. Then these diluted people will be more and more they will dilute and finally Krishna conscious spirit will be disappeared in the society. Only externals will be there. We want study, very, very strong understanding in our philosophy, which is very important to develop the Shraddha, which is the qualification for Ananya. If we are not serious in reading books, it's not at all good. It's bad actually. You are doing disservice to our movement without studying the properly books. Books are very important. So 5 hours everyone should read. Hearing classes altogether 5 hours. 5 hours must. Prabhupada is writing in another letter actually. This, whenever I get that, I will show. Krishna consciousness is always busy. You are always busy. Don't think that you have some free time. So devotees, they are always busy in the different, either studying or doing service and also attending haratis. थक जाना चाहिए. अब सोचते समय ऐसा है कि एकदम अब टूट गया. अभी हमको सोना ही. ऐसा है. ऐसा साधना करेंगे तब जाकर कुछ निकल के आएगा. करेंगे ना आप लोग करने हैं आपका फॉलोअर्स को भी वैसे ही करो चलो Hussein of Bharata, you should understand that I am also the knower in all bodies. And to understand this body and its knower is called knowledge. That's my opinion. We'll see from the Vishwanathji. What do you say? This will help. Vishwanath Thakur's commentary will help you to understand purport more clearly. And also some extra points are there. We can capture it and keep it. Like Vishwanath is explaining, this is a ksetram, why it is known because that the tree is coming samsara tree and it is having 2 fruits. One is the sweet fruit or sukha fruit and another is dukkha fruit. And this understanding is also 2 types. So seeing the body as mine and another seeing body as not mine. Then he's eating the sweet food, the sukha food, like that. This is same things you can see, but by learning this, it will be useful for you. That's what I'm saying. Evam kshetrajna क्षेत्रज्ञानात् जीवात्मनः क्षेत्रज्ञत्वम् उक्तम् परमात्मनस्तु ततोपि कार्त्स्नेन सर्वक्षेत्रज्ञत्वात् क्षेत्र aha will make everything in the pictures. If you want, I can give this file also, PDF file. He is kshetrajna and this is ksetram. And he knows this, that's why he is known as Kshetrajna. There is another hero there. He is also Kshetrajna. He knows, like this, many Kshetras and many Kshetrajnas are there. Na? And this personality knows all Kshetras and also all Kshetrajnas also he knows. So that's why we should know him as what? Sarva Kshetrajna. Sarvakshetreshu niyantritven sthitam. How he is standing, he is also. So in the kshetra, in every kshetra, there are two kshetrajnas now. From this understand. One is common to all the kshetras, and another is specific to that kshetra. And that who is specific to that kshetra is Jivatma, and the one which is common to all the kshetras is known as Paramatma. Okay. So now from this we understood in every kshetra there are the two kshetrajnas. So pratyekam ekam ekaika kshetrajnana tadapi na krsnam. This kshetrajna is, what is this? This is individual kshetrajna. And this is sarva kshetrajna. Okay. And how he is standing in this kshetra as a yanta. Is standing here as a niyanta. Niyanta means controller. क्या कंट्रोल करते हो? हाँ? What he controls? हाँ? इसका और भी ठीक से बोलो. What he controls? He controls whatever this jivatma, this individual kshetrajna, whatever he is having the karma. So this is green color is karma. This karma, whatever he has, based upon this jivatma's karma, he will be sanctioning the results. इतना काम किया तो इसका पूरा कर्म इतना पुराना इतना है, अब ये काम करके इतना कर्म किया, दोनों को जोड़ के इसका रिजल्ट ये होना चाहिए, ऐसा करके सैंक्शन करते हैं. कौन? सर्व क्षेत्र नियंता. और उनको कोई आसक्ति नहीं किसी से, लेकिन सबका जस्टिफिकेशन करते रहते बस ऐसा. अभी ये क्षेत्रज्ञ ऐसा बेकार काम किए पिछले जन्म में, उनको 25 साल के बाद उनका हाथ पे काम नहीं करना है, तब तो क्या करेगा? इसको एक्सीडेंट से मिलवाना है ना, वो मिलेगा. काल हाथ और पैर हटा दिया जाए इसका. नहीं दे तो. So like this he will always controls. Individually, willingly, randomly controls? No, based upon karma of that. तब तो उसके बाद 25 साल को ये पैरालिसिस हो जाएगा, ये काम नहीं करेगी. ये तो है लेकिन काम नहीं करेगी. विथड्रा कर देती, इधर से आज से इसका काम खत्म, कहानी। तो that is the सर्व क्षेत्र नियंत्रित्वेन स्थितम माम परमात्मा. Our Lord is saying this सर्व क्षेत्र is nothing but myself. Arjun, that's me saying. जीवानां प्रत्येकमेकैक क्षेत्रज्ञानां तदपि न कृत्स्ना. So all जीवानां प्रत्येकम एकैक क्षेत्रज्ञानम. So jivas only know only individual kshetra, ekam ekam. Mama tu ekasyeva sarva kshetrajnatvam Krsna. So this jiva is knower of this field and completely he knows about that field. No. अपना किडनी कैसा काम कर रहा है आपको पता है? नहीं पता है. हाथ कैसे काम कर रहे पता है? वो कब रुकने वाला है, कब चलने वाले पता है? और अपना कर्म कितना है और उसके अनुसार भी क्या होने वाला पता है क्या? कुछ भी नहीं पता है. माने that means this kshetrajna is also knower but is a limited knower actually, incomplete knower. He knows about only individual kshetra and that too not complete. But this sarva kshetrajna is knower of the all the fields and completely. कब गाड़ी रुकने वाला उनको पता है. ये क्षेत्र कब छूटने वाली क्षेत्र से ये क्षेत्र कब छूटने वाला वो भी पता है. और उसमें किडनी कैसा काम करती है, क्षेत्र माने किडनी आता है या नहीं, किडनी लंग्स हार्ट ये सभी आता है या नहीं क्षेत्र में. हाँ, ये सभी कैसा काम करते हैं सब उनको पता. ये है भगवान बोल रहे मैं ऐसा हूं. मम तु एकस्यैव सर्वक्षेत्रज्ञं कृत्स्नमेव इति विशेषः ज्ञेयः. मैं इसलिए सेपरेट हूं उस क्षेत्रज्ञ से. किम ज्ञानम. सो व्हाट अबाउट ज्ञानम नो. सो अर्जुन इज आस्किंग 6 क्वेश्चंस ना इन द फर्स्ट श्लोक. व्हाट? पुरुष, प्रकृति, क्षेत्रम, क्षेत्रज्ञम, नेक्स्ट ज्ञानम, नेक्स्ट ज्ञेयम. नाउ वी आर गोइंग टू सी द आंसर फॉर ज्ञान. किम ज्ञानम इति अपेक्षायामाह क्षेत्रेण. अरे 3 बज रहे हैं क्या? तो हम लोग को 13 श्लोक क्या ध्यान है. आप लोग लेट आए ना 20 मिनट. हाँ, इसलिए 20 मिनट बढ़ा दी. यहाँ पर आधा घंटा बढ़ा दी. मैं इधर आया तो ये 1:10 पर आया. उस समय कोई नहीं, 2 लोग इसीलिए पढ़ा था. चलो जब मैं हूं तब हमको पूरा यूटिलाइज करिए आप. इफ यू फील सम बेनिफिट इज देयर फॉर मी. पता नहीं कभी आएंगे. सो सी नाउ व्हाट इज ज्ञानम. क्षेत्रेण सह क्षेत्रज्ञयोर जीवात्मा परमात्मनोर यस् ज्ञानम क्षेत्र जीवात्मा परमात्मानां यत् ज्ञानम इत्यर्थः. The knowledge about the kshetram, knowledge about kshetram plus kshetrajna plus sarva kshetrajna is known as jnanam. Tvam padartha jnana tat padartha jnana. This is tvam padartha jnana and sarva kshetrajna, this is tat padartha jnana. And when you do Nishkama Karma Yoga, you come to know that this is body and this is body, and Atma is different from the body. So that's why you are knowing the difference between the body and the Atma. So that means you are knowing about the Kshetra also. Yes? When you do Nishkama Karma Yoga, you will understand what? I am not this body, but I am. So that means the difference between the Kshetram and Kshetram you are knowing. Okay? This is known as Jnana. This is Jnanam, that is my understanding, Arjun. Is it okay for you? I consider that Kshetram, knowledge about Kshetram and Ksetrajna and Sarvakshetrajna is, I say it as Jnanam. Is it okay? Tadeva Jnanam Matam Mama. This is my opinion. If your opinion, if you have, then I don't know. Tatra Uttama Purushastvanyah Paramatma Ityudamritaha Ityuttara Grandha. Okay, this is not needed. Now we'll read the purport. While discussing the subject of the body and the knower of the body, the soul and the super soul, we shall find three different topics of study: the law, living entity, and matter. In every field of activities, in every body, there are two souls: an individual soul and super soul, Sarva Kshetrajna. Because super soul is the plenary expansion of the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna. Krishna says, I am also the knower, but I am not the individual knower of the body. I am supreme knower. I am present in every body as Paramatma or super soul. It's clear now, this paragraph. Nothing is difficult in this. One who studies the subject matter of the field of activity and the knower of the field very minutely in terms of this Bhagavad Gita can attain to knowledge. Knowing this itself is a knowledge. Lord says, I am the knower of the field of activities in every individual body. The individual may be the knower of his own body, but he is not in knowledge of other bodies. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is present as a super soul in all bodies, knows everything about all bodies. He knows all the different bodies of all various species of life. A citizen may know everything about his patch of land, but the king knows not only his place, but all the properties possessed by individual citizens. Similarly, one may be the proprietor of the body individually, but the Supreme Lord is the proprietor of all bodies. Here, one point we should add that even he is a knower of that field, not completely. That point we should add actually. He is not knowing that body also completely. And what is the merit of the Lord? Lord is the knower of everything and also completely. The king is the original proprietor of the kingdom, and the citizen is the secondary proprietor. Similarly, the Supreme Lord is the supreme proprietor of all the bodies. Body consists of senses. The Lord is Rishikesha, which means the controller of the senses. He is the original controller of senses, just as the king is the original controller of the activities of the state. The citizens are secondary controllers. The Lord says, I am also the knower. This means that he is the supreme knower. So why he is saying, Prabhupada is saying, I am the supreme super soul. Paramatma is the controller of senses. I said, na, नियंता. इसका इंद्री कितना काम करना है, कब उसका काम बंद होना है, कब उसका काम शुरू होना है, कौन? Supreme. That means super soul will be deciding it based upon the karma. Whimsically, he will not do. He will be getting all the time perfect justification. He will never cheat. If you do good karma, good results. Bad karma, bad results. But in the case of devotees, he will be fully playing with his own. वो अपना खेल तमाशा करते रहे. वो उनका कर्म तो डिवोटी के पास तो कर्म तो रहेगा नहीं, पूरा डिस्ट्रॉय हो जाती भक्ति से. लेकिन हम लोग नहीं डिवोटी माने जो अनर्थ निवृत्ति कर चुके हैं ना, जिसका सुकृत हो तो दुष्कृत अनर्थ चले गए, तो उन लोगों की विषय में माने डायग्राम में देखेंगे तो किसके पूरा, जैसे देखिए इधर अनर्थ निवृत्ति स्टेज जब पहुंचेंगे शुद्ध भक्ति में प्रवेश करके, दिस इज अनर्थ निवृत्ति मीन्स. And Nishtha, when you reach the Nishtha stage, so in the Nishtha stage, all the That means complete eradication of your previous karma will happen. And also, sukruta, I mean, good karma, bad karma, everything will be washed out. So then after that, he doesn't have any karma. Then when which part should work, which senses should work and which should not work, who will decide? Lord himself. And he started manipulating, playing with them according to his sweet will. He will make his devotees sometimes to cry. Why he will make to cry? Because to increase the intensity, whatever he likes. So that is, they in their case is complete control he takes. Your question. Acha. Jivatma is secondary control. That's why we are saying he has little, that means freedom. That's why he can do the new things. What should I do? He can mainly he is getting the desires from his previous karma. They are also now from the special association. So he can even he's getting the new desires. That means the desires from the old karma. But because of the association, he may so change some ideas and he may try to do. That's why he has limited control on those senses. Within the jurisdiction of the supreme controller. He cannot independently operate these senses without the control of the super soul. So that is secondary control. So that's why in the case of Baddha Jivas, completely their karma is sanctioned. The results of the sanction based upon their karma through Paramatma. Ksetrani hi sarirani Bijam chapi subha subhe tani veddi sayogatma tata ksetrajna uchite. This body is called ksetra, and within it dwells the owner of the body, the Supreme Lord, who knows both the body and the owner of the body. Therefore, he is called knower of all fields. The distinct the field of activities, the knower of activities, and the supreme knower of activities is discussed. Is described as follows. Perfect knowledge of constitution of the body, the constitution of the individual soul, and the constitution of the super soul is known in terms of Vedic literature as that means Prakriti. That's jnana means what? Ksetram, Ksetrajna, and Sarvkshetra. The constitutional position of these three is known as jnana. This is the opinion of Krishna. Mama Matam. He's saying to understand both the soul and the super soul one as one at a distinct is knowledge. One who doesn't understand the field of activity and the knower of activity is not in perfect knowledge. One has to understand the position of Prakriti, Purusha. That means Prakriti means nature, Purusha means enjoyer of the nature, and Ishvara, knower who dominates or controls nature and the individual soul. One should not confuse in three in their different capacities. That means Prakriti, Purusha, and Ishvara. Like you can see in the terms Ksetram, Ksetrajna, and Sarva Ksetrajna. Like that also you can culture. One should not confuse the painter, the painting, and SL. This material world. That means Ishvara is different. And Ksetrajna is different. And so Kshetram is different. So Sarvakshetrajna is different. So Ishvara, Sarvakshetrajna is also known as Ishvara. Niyanta, Ishvara. Next. This material world, which is field of activities, is nature. And the enjoyer of nature is the living entity. And above them both is the supreme controller, the personality of Godhead. It is stated in the Vedic language, in the Sveta Sutara Upanishad. Bhokta bhogyam preritaram chamatva sarvam proktam trividham brahmam etam. There are three Brahman conceptions. Prakriti is Brahman as a field of activities, and the Jiva, individual soul, is also Brahman and is trying to control material nature, and the controller of both of them is also Brahman. In this chapter, it will be explained. It also will explain that out of two knowers, one is fallible and another is infallible. One is superior and other is subordinate. One who understands two knowers of the field to be one and the same contradicts the supreme personality of God. That means one is subordinate, another is superior, one is fallible and another is infallible. All these things we are going to learn future, the same chapter. So next we will come to here. One who misunderstands a rope to be a serpent is not in knowledge. There are different kinds of bodies and there are different owners of bodies because each individual soul has his individual capacity for lording it over middle nature. There are different bodies, but the Supreme also is present in them as controller. The word cha is significant, for it indicates the total number of bodies. So that is the opinion of Srila Bhakti Vidyabhushan. So here Prabhupada is consulting both commentaries. Vishwanath Chakravarti commentary and also sometimes Baldev Vidyabhushan. Sometimes Baldev Vidyabhushan will be more and sometimes Vishwanath Chakravarti will be more in a purport. So here this point he is considering. That means knowledge means what we said, right? Knowledge means jnanam means what? Ksetra, ksetrajnayo, jnanam, yat, tas jnanam, mama matam. Matam mama. So here, these three kshetra, kshetrajnayoho. How Vishwanath Chakravarti explains kshetra, kshetrena saha, kshetrajnayoho means individual kshetrajna, kshetrajnayoho means is a plural, as a double. So kshetrajnayoho means you should take individual kshetrajna and also sarva kshetrajna. So that's a kshetra, kshetrajnayoho means three things will be coming. Krishna is a super soul present in each and every body apart from the individual soul. And Krishna explicitly says here that real knowledge is to know the super soul is the controller of both the field of activities and identity. Next.
जो कैसे रिफ्यूट कराते हैं
अच्छा एक्चुअली बलदेव विद्याभूषण कमेंट्री से हम लोग क्लियरली आते हैं तो इधर हम लोग अभी तो कमेंट्री पढ़ना था but the supreme also is present. The word cha is significant for it indicates the total number of bodies. Ksetrajnam chapi mam vitti. This cha, that means, oh Arjuna, you should know me as knower of. Here, Ksetrajnam chapi vitti means, here you see, Krishna is saying, you also should know me as the knower of Kshetra. Kshetrajnam chapi mam vitti sarva kshetreshu. Kshetrajnam chapi mam vitti. So you should know me as Kshetrajna. Here this cha. Chapi means this cha is indicating all the kshetras. So he is the know what Baldev is saying here. The word cha is significant for it indicates the total number of bodies. ओपन करना ही पड़ेगा टाइप चले जाएगी इसीलिए हम इसको इस बार एक ही कमेंट्री हम पढ़ाते हैं क्योंकि दो कमेंट्री मिक्स करने से वो फ्लो अलग अलग हो जाती है तो उसका वो कभी कभी उसका फ्लो एकदम एंटायरली डिफरेंट रहता है तो तब वो कंफ्यूज आने लगता है परकुट में प्रभुपाद जी लेकिन दोनों प्रकार की सभी डाल देते हैं माने दोनों प्रकार कमेंट्री से पिक करते हैं एक मिनट तक चार कमेंट्री आ जाए किस चा के बारे में बोल रहे हैं? क्षेत्रज्ञं चापि मां विद्धि सर्वक्षेत्रेषु भारत. Baldev is saying Kshetrajna Jivatmanah Kshetragnatvam Uktam. Atah Paramatmanah Tad Aha Kshetragnam Chapimam Iti. He Bharat Sarva Kshetreshu Mam Cha Kshetragnam Vidhi. Api hi Avadharane. Api what is this? Ma api mujhko bhi. So Jivaha Swayam जीव स्वं स्वं क्षेत्रम स्वभोग मोक्ष साधनम ज्ञान जानन्तः क्षेत्रज्ञाः प्रजावत्. That means they are like all citizens. अहम तु सर्वेश्वर एक एव सर्वाणि तानि कर्तव्यानि च जनान् तत् सर्व क्षेत्रज्ञो राजवत् इत्यर्थः. That Prabhupada is writing, na? So this Kshetrajna, he is individual Kshetrajna is like a citizen, Prajavat. And Sarva Kshetrajna is like a king who knows the all. This is from the Bhagavad Gita. So Aham tu Sarvatra Eka Eva. But I am only alone, but I am knowing Sarvani Tani Bhartavyani. That means all those Kshetras and Kshetrajnas which are there, those everything I know. So Kshetram Cha Jnanam. I know the other fields and their knowers of their fields also. Fields and also knowers of those fields. So that's why I am like king and they are all like citizens. Sarveshwarasyapi Kshetreshwarasyapi Kshetragnatvam. So Kshetrani Sarirani. This sloka is there in the purport. You are seeing this sloka. This is Baldev Devotion's quotation. Prabhupada is keeping in the purport. Kshetrajnani hi Sarirani Bijam Chapi Subhashubhe Tani Vitti Sa Yogatma Tata Kshetrajna Uchate Iti Smrutibhyaha. This sloka from the Smruti. Kim Gnanam iti apekshayam aha kshetra iti. So kshetrena sahito kshetrajnau. So next point is what is jnana means. Next sloka, next line of the sloka is telling. Yes. Next line of second line of sloka is telling about the jnana. Kshetrajnayor jnanam yat tad jnanam matam mama. The second line is telling about what is jnanam. That means kshetra plus kshetrajnas. Both together is known as. So whoever is knowing this kshetra and the knowledge about the kshetra and kshetrajnas is known as jnanam. This is the second line. That line is being explained here now. Baldev Vidyabush is explaining that second line. Very good. किम ज्ञानम इत्यपेक्षा आह क्षेत्रेण सहितो क्षेत्रज्ञो जीव परो क्षेत्रज्ञो तत्सहितोः तयोः मितः विवेकेन यत् ज्ञानं तदेव ज्ञानं मम मतम् तदन्यथा तु अज्ञानम् इति अर्थः. वेदमात्र बोधव्यं प्रकृति वाई तो बहुत भरपूर है और बाद में मैं पढ़ के कल बहुत इधर बैठ के पढ़ेंगे तो और 1 घंटा चलेगा. ठीक है. उस अच्छा का क्या मीनिंग.
So means I also. That is clearly.
He's saying all the kshetras. Cha is indicating all the kshetras. He's saying. Okay. So in the commentary only we can understand from which is the word he is. The cha can be include the many things actually. Here cha is including the all the kshetras. It's a technical thing, but Khanda you understood. Yeah. Tat kshetram yaccha yadrukcha yadvikari yatascha yat sachayu yat prabhavascha tat samasena me srutu. Now, please hear my brief description of this field of activity and how it is constituted, what is changes are, whence it is produced, who that knower of field of activities is, and what his influences are. So, see here. Now, Krishna is going to explain few more things. Now, please hear my brief description of this field of activity and how it is constituted. That means this ksetra is constituted of what? And what its changes. That means what are the changes in that field? Whence it is produced, from where it is produced, when it is produced, who that knower of the field of activities. That means who is the knowing the field of activities. All these things I am going to explain to you and what these influences are. So let us see. Tat kshetram yaccha yadruk yadvikari yatascha yat. How many are there? Such a yo yat prabhavascha. So these are the 6 things are there. You see, yaccha means this kshetram is composed of what? First what? Yaccha. Yaccha means what? Composed of what? Field. Field is composed of what? Okay. Krishna is saying, I am going to explain to you this field is composed of what elements? Icha. Yadruk. Yadruk means Yadrisham Ichadi Dharmakam. Yadruk. Yadruk means changes, qualities. Qualities of field. Yadrisham Ichadi Dharmakam. That means what different qualities are present in the field. Different qualities present in the field. Qualities of field. Okay. Qualities of field. Qualities of field which are present in that. Okay. Next, that is the yadrik. Next, yatascha. Yatascha means what? Yat. Not yatascha. Before that, yat. Simply yat you should take. Yat. Yadruk, yat. Yat you should take first. Next. Yat means Yadruk is over, na? What is the next one? Yadvikari. Yadvikari. Yadvikari means what? Changes. What changes are there in this field? Next, yatascha, yataha. Yatascha means what? Prakriti Purusha Samyoga from where? Yatascha means from where? Yatascha means Prakriti Purusha Samyoga Udbhutam. From where it appeared? Next, yat. Yat means यदिति यैः स्थावर जंगमादि भेदैः भिन्नम् इत्यर्थः। With what differences it is different? भेदैः भिन्नम्. How it is different from how, otherwise how one kshetra is different from one kshetra is different from other. Next, that is the meaning of yat that. Kshetra jivatma paramatma cha. So yat is. You understood? Now Lord is going to explain about the kshetra. These many things. वो क्षेत्र किससे कंपोज हुआ, वो क्षेत्र में क्या क्या गुण रहता है, वो क्षेत्र में कौन सा चेंजेस आता है, और वो क्षेत्र कहां से उत्पन्न होता है, और वो क्षेत्र में एक दूसरे क्षेत्र से कैसा भिन्न हो सकता, ये सभी मैं बोलूंगा भाई. और इसके साथ साथ सच यो यत् प्रभावश्च, and also some means you want to take. So I will also tell about the jivatma and also paramatma. This is about the ksetram. And also he wants to tell about jivatma and paramatma. नींद आ रहा है. You will tell about all. Samasena means sankshepen. So Lord is describing the field of activities and the knower of field of activities in their constitutional position. One has to know how this body is constituted, the materials of this body is made, under whose control this body is working, how the changes are taking place, where from the changes are coming, what the cause of are, what the causes are, what the reasons are, what the ultimate goal of the individual soul is, and what the actual form of the individual soul is. One should also know the distinction between the individual living soul and super soul. Their different influences, their potentials, etc. One just has to understand this Bhagavad Gita directly from the description given by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And all this will be clarified, but one should be careful not to consider the Supreme Personality of Godhead in everybody to be one with the individual soul, the Jiva. Here this line is writing from the Baldev Jabushan. So here he is saying Ksetrajna is there, Jivatma is there, Paramatma is there. One should not think that these two are same. Okay? Next sloka. ऋषिभिर्बहुधा गीतं छन्दोभिर्विविधैः कृता ब्रह्मसूत्रैः. That knowledge of the field of activities and of the knower of activities is described by various sages in various Vedic writings. It is especially presented in Vedanta Sutra with all reasoning as to cause and effect. अभी भगवान क्या बोल रहे हैं? भगवान बोलते हैं कि भाई मैं अभी क्षेत्र के बारे में, जीवात्मा और परमात्मा के बारे में बोलूंगा संक्षेप से, लेकिन कई ही विस्तरेण उक्तस्य अयम संक्षेप. भगवान क्या बोल रहे हैं? मैं संक्षेप से बोलूंगा बोल रहे हैं, लेकिन तब तो विस्तार से तब कौन बोले? ये तो पॉइंट आता है या नहीं? भगवान क्या बोलते हैं? मैं संक्षेप से बोलता हूं. तब कौन विस्तार से बोले? तब अर्जुन को प्रश्न आता है या नहीं? तो विस्तार से कौन बोले इस तीनों के बारे में? वो बात इधर बोल रहे. ऋषि भी बहुधा गीतम, ऋषि लोग इसको विस्तार से कह दिए. और छंद, छंद माने वेद मंत्र, छंद माने वैदिक मंत्रास. They also glorify, are expanded very elaborately about these things. and Brahma Sutra Padaihi, also Brahma Sutras. The words of the Brahma Sutras also. So explaining these three things very elaborately with hetu, with cause and effect. So, okay, Arjun, these things are explained very elaborately about this. So commentary is saying same thing. Kaihi vistarena uktasya ayam sankshepa. O Krishna, आप जिनसे विस्तार किया गया ज्ञान को आप अभी हमको संक्षेप रूप से बोल रहे हैं, किनसे किनसे विस्तार से एक्सप्लेन किया गया ज्ञान को अभी हमको संक्षेप रूप से बोल रहे हैं, मैंने वो किनसे है? ऋषि भी। कौन है ऋषि? वशिष्ठ आदि भी। वशिष्ठ इत्यादि कौन है? योग वासिष्ठ्यम, वशिष्ठ ने योग शास्त्र दिए, उसमें क्षेत्र के बारे में, क्षेत्रज्ञ के बारे में, माने जीवात्मा और परमात्मा के बारे में वेरी एलाबोरेटली एक्सप्लेन। क्षेत्र के बारे में इतना यहाँ से आता है कि आप बहुत। और कौन विस्तार रूप से एक्सप्लेन की? छंदो भी। छंद माने वेदाः वेदैश्च एंड ब्रह्म सूत्र पदैः। ब्रह्म सूत्राणि माने अथातो ब्रह्म जिज्ञासा इत्यादीनि तान्येव सूत्राणि, that means ब्रह्म सूत्रास। So ब्रह्म पद्यते ज्ञायते एभिः। So Brahma Sutra Pada means the by which one can know about the Brahman is known as Brahma Sutra Pada. नींद आ रहा है, छोड़ दूंगा मैं 10 मिनट। ओके, सो अभी परफेक्ट में आइए ना थोड़ा सा। The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, is the highest authority in explaining this knowledge. Still, as a matter of course, learned scholars and standard authorities always give evidence from various authorities. Krishna is explaining this most controversial point regarding the duality and non-duality of the soul and the super soul by referring to scriptures, the Vedas. Krishna is saying, hey Arjun, whatever the knowledge I am going to explain to you in this Bhagavad Gita, 13th chapter, is also having the reference. I am not manufacturing my own philosophy. Because the Lord also follows Shastra to set an example. Guru, Sadhu, Shastra. So if Lord speaks anything against the Shastra, then you have to neglect this, discard it. You don't need to care for it. Yes or no? Yes. So, because who is Brahmana? Lord's statement is Brahmana or the Shastra is Brahmana? Shastra. Shastra is the Brahmana, not the Lord's statement. उर्दू लीला क्या है? भगवान बोलते हैं बुद्ध, है ना, वेदों को मानो मत, वेदों को ऐसा नास्तिकता को फैला दिए। तो बुद्ध की बात हम लोग मान सकते हैं क्या? नहीं मान सकते, लेकिन वेद का बात मानते हैं। वेद क्या कहती है? बुद्ध जो भी बोले उसको नहीं मानना है करके वेद कर रहे, भले वो भगवान है लेकिन फिर भी उन्होंने जो बोलेगा उसको नहीं मानना है। इसीलिए हम लोग किसको मानते हैं? वेद को ही मानते। इस भगवान के बारे में हमको पता किया कौन? वेद है। तब तो वेद को छोड़कर अभी अभी भगवान अभी जो बाद में है उसको पकड़ेंगे, जो ओरिजिनली पहले से उसको पकड़ के रखेंगे। शास्त्र ही प्रमाण है भाई। अब भगवान की वाक्य प्रमाण है तो कब का आप भी भगवान बनकर आप भी कुछ बोलने लगेंगे, है ना? इसीलिए शास्त्र प्रमाण है लेकिन भगवान के वाक्य प्रमाण है। इसीलिए अभी भगवान जो भी बोलेंगे संक्षेप रूप से हमने थोड़ा सा एक्सटेंड किया, 3:30 बजे। अच्छा 5। सो अभी हम लोग को जानना चाहिए कि भगवान अभी बोल रहे हैं, कृष्ण भगवान बोलते हैं, तो क्या है रेफरेंस उनका? इसीलिए उन्होंने बोल रहे हैं मैं जो भी बोलूंगा ये समस्त चीजों के बारे में वेदों में वर्णित है। ग्रेट पर्सनैलिटीज वशिष्ठ आदि भी बोले हैं, और ये और भी क्या बोले, ब्रह्म सूत्र में भी कहा है। उसी के अनुसार अभी हम संक्षेप रूप से ये क्षेत्र के बारे में, जीवात्मा के बारे में और परमात्मा के बारे में बोलो। सो अभी भगवान भी शास्त्र को फॉलो कर रहे हैं करके भगवान में वो कोई कमीपन आता है क्या? नहीं, इससे कमीपन नहीं आएगा, क्योंकि वो शास्त्र भी कहां से आता है? निःश्वसितमेतद्, भगवान से ही वो एग्जेल है, इसीलिए सबका कारण तो भगवान ही।
And follow the instructions. Supreme Lord. So that is the dharma. Actual dharma is the following instruction.
धर्मं तो साक्षात भगवत प्रणीतम। Yes, that is said by whom? Shastra is saying. Yeah. So ultimately, so dharma, whatever is said, that Veda is coming from the Lord only. So that is also said by Shastra. This Jivatma which is there, conditioned Jivatma which is there in this Brahmanda, how it can approach absolute truth? So how it can understand about the absolute truth? So it has various, various ways to gain the knowledge, like pratyaksha, anumana, like this many. So that's why this conditioned Jivatma cannot access Lord directly, and it doesn't have any clue. The Jivatma is told about the Lord by Pramana, that is Shabda Pramana, that is Veda. So that's why Veda, like a boy, Prabhupada gives always example. A small baby knows that his father is so and so person because of his mother only. So like this, the same example you can take here also. This Veda is first he told to him. So my dear, Lord is there and Lord is the supreme personality and you are the part and parcel of that. And you have to follow his sentence. So like that, so who is saying? Veda is saying to us, Shastra is saying to us. So that's it, to this conditioned Jivatma, especially as a conditioned Jivatma, who is the Pramana? Where is the Pramana, which is showing the Lord. And then only we are able to approach the Lord. But if directly, if someone says I will access directly Lord, then who is that Lord? Who will make the decision for that? Then everyone will make their own laws. Then there is a big problem.
So can we say that once it is established by the Vedas, the Supreme Lord, whatever is said,
So, but sometimes the Lord says anything against the Shastra, and if Shastra is saying that in this avatara you should not follow this verse, then you should not follow. If you follow now Lord Buddha's instruction, then we should reject the Vedas. Can you do that? No. And his atheism is spreading by promoting this. So that's why we have to take the proper consultation from the Vedas. Then we have to see the Lord's statements has to be taken or not. So that's why Brahmaji, when Prithu Maharaj appeared, he saw the identifications of the marks, the symbols, marks of that Prithu Maharaj as per the Vedas, and then he approved he is the Ishvara. Then all the demigods also started so glorifying him as a supreme Lord. And also the glorification of the Lord also should be done as per the directions of Shastra. Srutivata Nitam. As per the Shruti, how it said, in that way only should describe. But the Shruti is the Pramana. And that Shruti is saying, I am also coming from him only, so you should worship me. Then we have to worship him. Because then that's the Lord is only supreme. But you cannot approach him directly. So for this conditioned Jivatma, So that Lord only mercifully gave Veda for us. In a commonly he gave to everyone. So that is his mercy, definitely. That's why it is there. And he is saying, you should approach me through the Veda. That is his intentions. That's a Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra. Shastra is the supreme personality of we came to this. The super so different to the Vedanta, which is accepted as that. First, he says this is according to different sages. As far as the sages are concerned, so beside himself, Vasudev is a great sage, and Vedanta Sutra, Guru, Sadhu, and Shastra. So Sadhus is mentioning here, where Vedanta Sutra duality is perfectly explained. So here Krishna is going to explain whatever that's a duality means what? Veda. Non-duality means abheda. That means Dvaitam and Advaita. So whatever the Advaita and Dvaita is going to explain, that's based upon Shastra. So and Vasudeva's father Parasara is also great sage, and he writes in his books of religiosity, Aham Tvam Cha Tathanye. Okay, we will be ending here. So you can read this purport and come tomorrow. And we quickly read this purport and we will go. That is over. This is very simple purport. So Vijnanamaya, Anandamaya, first is Manomaya, and then Pranamaya, Manomaya, Vijnanamaya, and we'll increase tomorrow little speed. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.